back in Jamaica, New York, all set for the only meeting of the season between UConn and St. John's. Let's check out the starting lineup. First, for the visiting Huskies, we already told you about Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. Kelly Farris is having a sensational senior year, and she's in the top 10 in the Big East in 5 different categories. Stephanie Dolson is not in the starting lineup. As we look on the floor, Kia Stokes is set to take the opening tip and will be making her first start of the season. For St. John's, we already told you about Shanika Smith. Nadira McKenneth has more assists than any player in Red Storm history. And Brianna Brown is coming off a career-high 19-point performance in Wednesday's win at Providence. Joe Tartamella is in his first season as the coach of the Red Storm. He spent 9 years in 2 different tours of duty as an assistant under his predecessor, Kim Barnes-Arico. And Gino Auriemma has coached UConn to 7 national championships, and he coached the United States Olympic team to a gold medal in London last August. Bruce Morris tossing the ball up between Mary Wachuku and Kia Stokes. Dennis DeMeo and Carla Fountain also working the game, and we're underway from Queens.
St. John's in a man-to-man defense. You see Shanika Smith has the assignment of Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis.
There's a look at Gino Auriemma, who has guided UConn to 13 Final Fours, including 5 in a row.
St. John's worked on breaking UConn's pressure a lot in shoot-around this morning.
Ball knocked loose, and Stokes, getting her first start of the season, picks it up the floor to Bria Hartley, who has battled an ankle injury all season long. Down low, Stokes juggled it, will get a held ball, and on the possession arrow, it will go over to St. John's.
It will be interesting to see how Stokes responds to starting. Now, this isn't a very strong inside game for St. John's in terms of traditional back-to-the-back post players. But Mary Wachuku is very solid, and then Shanika Smith has been playing the power forward position.
On the rebound, Hartley will run it down on a hop. Hartley playing about 25 minutes from her North Babylon, New York home for the first time in her career. Mosqueda-Lewis with the rare miss from 3.
You cannot lose Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis in transition. You have to know where she is, because she's probably spotting up on the three-point line.
McKenneth to freshman Aaliyah Hanford. Shot clock inside 10. McKenneth will hoist the 3.
Nadira McKenneth, one of the best point guards in the nation you don't hear about.
Let's take a look at LaChina's ledger, beginning with St. John's.
Well, for St. John's, they have to get to the free throw line. That is really the most important thing for them. That is when they are at their best. They don't score a lot in their half-court offense, so they've got to get some free throws. And also their post defense. Obviously, the sides of Connecticut inside with Kia Stokes, with Stephanie Dolson, with Brianna Stewart.
And how about the LaChina ledger for the Huskies?
Well, they want to contain McKenneth. I mean, we just talked about her being one of the better point guards in the nation. Gino has a lot of respect for her play, said that she gets to where she wants to on the floor, and that she does as much for her team as any other point guard in this conference, and they need some scoring from their bench.
McKenneth, the all-time assist leader in St. John's history. She broke the record earlier this season, previously held by Janet Roos.
Man-to-man for the Huskies as well. St. John's more of a half-court team than they were last season because of some changes to personnel.
Smith hits the baseline jumper over Mosqueda-Lewis.
And that's where she's a hard mismatch. I mean, she's got length. She's 6'1". She can score the basketball just about anywhere on the floor. Not as strong from the three-point line. And if you get her on the baseline, that jumper, she's money. I thought Ferris would shoot it right there. She's shooting the ball much better from the floor this season.
Farris had it knocked away, and here's Smith has McKenneth to her right. Instead, takes it herself. And the rebound run down by Mosqueda-Lewis. Hartley up top to Farris. Down low, Stokes did a nice job of holding off Wachuku.
Very good seal by Kia Stokes. She ran down the court and used her body to get inside position.
McKenneth beat the press all by herself to Brianna Brown. Now back out top to McKenneth, who will run the offense. Gino Auriemma told us yesterday that McKenneth is as valuable to her team as any player is in the Big East. Shot clock down to 2. Brown lets it go. Just like in his diagram.
They heard that comment in the open about their three-point shots. They're coming for you, Bob. Good outside shooting for St. John's, and that will open up the driving lanes, which is what they really like to do.
Hartley with the miss. Long rebound to Doty. Hartley again. This time the rebound at 5'9" to Aaliyah Hanford. St. John's 10-9, 4-3 in the Big East. The win over Providence on Wednesday ended a 3-game losing streak.
And they played without Shanika Smith in that game, who was suspended for violation of team rules. So a big win when you're missing your leader on the floor.
The miss by Hanford, and the rebound winds up in the lap of Mosqueda Lewis. Very few whistles in this one. We're already inside the first media timeout. Down low Stokes. She is fouled by Wachuku. And that is the first foul on Wachuku and the second on the Red Storm. Brianna Brown. It's a comprehensive site on the World Wide Web at www.bigeast.org. Log on for all the latest information on all Big East sports, including women's basketball scores, highlights, news, stats, and polls. So at the free throw line, we'll go Kia Stokes and LaChina. I don't think it's any mystery that Kia Stokes has not had a very good sophomore season thus far, but in her first year and a half, she has demonstrated that she has immense talent and immense upside, and this is a golden opportunity for her today.
Yeah, she can really get in and show what she can do, and you can tell early that Coach Auriemma wants to attack St. John's in the inside. They're going over the top with their passes, using their height to get easy scores. Stokes
replaced by Brianna Stewart, who was the preseason freshman of the year in the Big East and in the country. He's been coming off the bench and doing a good job. St. John's beat the press and got a layup. Hanford.
No rotation for Connecticut. And good look by Nadir McKenneth.
Scored down low, and they're really picking on Wachuku, aren't they?
They definitely are. They know that they've got the height on the inside. But right here, just a terrific pass by McKenneth. You can see why she is one of the best in that area. 5 assists a game for St. John's.
So Wachuku has to sit down with her second personal foul, replaced by number 2, Amber Thompson. There's a look at Wachuku, a transfer from Boston College.
A very thin rotation in the post for Coach Tartamella.
Hartley to Mosqueda Lewis. Stewart demanding the ball down low and gets it. Spins toward the middle.
And it's good to see Brianna Stewart get down low and post up. That's an area, again, Coach Auriemma wanting to see more of her post game, be more physical. That's what you're going to see when you get to this level and you're playing on the inside.
Smith guarded by Farris, who's UConn's best defensive player, and she shoots over her.
And that's a confident shot. Not very many players can line up a shot in Kelly Farris's face and hit it.
Hartley, now Farris trying to post up McKenneth down low. On the give to Hartley. Mosqueda Lewis for the pull-up.
I love her poise. I started to see it towards the end of last season. She came into the Big East tournament on a mission. As a freshman, you knew that she wanted to come in and establish her team early, and that's rare to see that kind of poise with someone so young.
Mosqueda Lewis knocked it away from Brown. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. We welcome and thank our Big East Network fans watching in 16 television markets throughout 8 states and across the nation today on ESPN Full Court, ESPN3, and the Watch ESPN app. Number 4 freshman Mariah Jefferson replacing Doty for the Huskies. Brown goes right at Lewis, and the shot was blocked out of bounds. Lewis and Stewart were both there.
Good take on the baseline with the shot blocking ability of Brianna Stewart. She has terrific length.
I think they both blocked that shot. McKenneth fouled, taking the jumper by Hartley.
But you got to give that one to Stewart because she was a foot above the basketball. Still had some arm length to go while blocking that shot.
Well, they're giving the block shot to Mosqueda Lewis. You post players are all alike. You're always there's a union. Have you not paid your union dues?
Guards don't block shots. Who said that?
First foul on Hartley and the first foul on the Huskies. Stewart is 4th in the Big East in block shots. In chatting with Gino Auriemma yesterday, we asked him why is she continuing to come off the bench. Originally it was because of an injury. And he said, well, I like the starting 5 we have. I like her watching the game from the bench to begin with because she can learn things. And then he went on to say that big kids come out of high school and they struggle their first year in college. They don't know how to play coming out of high school because they're not used to playing with other good big kids.
It's the hardest transition to make because of the strength that it takes to battle inside. And check out this block on the other end as Bria Hartley looks to attack McKinnon. Said, give me that back.
And another block by Smith. St. John's is 6th in the country in block shots. They just got 2 of them on that one UConn possession. Brown will be called for the travel. China, the last time these two teams met in the Big East semifinals last year, when UConn won by 31, the Red Storm turned it over 20 times. Stewart, boy, Hanford is holding Hartley. He got away with it.
They are so athletic. Look at St. John's defensively.
Mosqueda Lewis down low with a little right hand jump hook.
Looking at Kalina Mosqueda Lewis in the last 4 games, she has led the team in assists 1 game, rebounds another, points another, steals another. Her versatility and the way that she is expanding her game is impressive. Good post move.
She's having a fabulous sophomore year. Hanford inside, down lower to Thompson.
Boy, has Hanford had a terrific freshman season so far. Coach Tartamella saying, I don't know where we would be without her. How many coaches can say that about a freshman?
Farris hands to Mosqueda Lewis. And we're going to get a charge. Number 1 on Mosqueda Lewis and number 2 on UConn. Some good interior passing by St. John's.
Terrific timing. You're right. You see the defense, and when you have the kind of poise that we have seen, again, from the freshman Hanford, she can see the defense coming, but then have the wherewithal to make a change midair and pass the ball.
Number 20, Keelantra Langley is checked in for St. John's. On the miss, Mosqueda Lewis comes away, and here's Jefferson, who was the quickest of the 11 Huskies. The no-look pass to Stewart.
What a great pass. To say that she is quick, to say that she is fast does not really say it all. I think she travels faster than the speed of light, Bob.
Out of Glen Heights, Texas, was homeschooled. Twice was named the National Homeschool Player of the Year.
And she's so important in a game like this because St. John's is fast, quick, athletic at every guard position, and she can go right with the best of them.
Shot clock down to 2, and Hanford put it up over Stewart and off the glass.
They're going at Stewart. She looks pretty scary from my seat defensively in terms of her length, but they're not backing down.
We've seen some good offense in this first 8+ minutes. Stewart with the miss, and the rebound battled, and Hanford comes away. 3 Morgan Tuck on the floor for UConn. So Gino Auriemma has all 3 of his freshmen out there now. And Jefferson got a hand on it from behind. 3rd turnover for St. John's, and Farris will earn a trip at the foul line. 4-point St. John's lead when we come back. Well, what was the greatest moment in St. John's women's? It was the greatest moment of my basketball career.
And it was just one of those jaw-dropping moments where you say, but it's senior night. It was senior night at UConn, which is a night where magic usually happens for the home team. Not only that, the long ball had not been kind to St. John's all year, and for that to really be the dagger was just shocking.
Gino Auriemma told us yesterday when we asked him about it, he said, look, at UConn, on senior night, sometimes we take things for granted. We were playing a good team. We think we were a better team. But they played better than we did that night. They deserved to win. And I think 16 days later, after we beat them by 31, it made us feel worse about the loss because we knew we were better. Off the steal, Banks. But it won't stay down.
Connecticut continuing to bring the pressure. And I think they are best in their full court defense when they have Brianna Banks out on the floor with the same time as Mariah Jefferson and also Brianna Stewart. All three of those players, athletic, long, quick.
Foul was on Langley, her first, and 4 on the team. McKenneth back in replacing Hanford. And at the line, Banks, the sophomore from Noonan, Georgia.
And definitely Kelly Ferris. I mean, she's probably one of the best in that open court defense and anticipating getting steals. So this is a tough defensive unit right now on the floor.
McKenneth defended by the freshman Jefferson. Her pass to Smith was stolen by Banks. 2-on-1. Jefferson back to Banks.
If you're staring at Jefferson and Banks on the floor, that's a scary defensive combination.
And Stewart blocks the McKenneth shot. UConn with its first lead of the afternoon. Mosqueda-Lewis. It's an 8-0 Huskies run, and Joe Tardamella gets a timeout.
Lining it up from long range.
That 8-0 run has come in the last 73 seconds. In talking with Gino Auriemma yesterday, you asked him what makes Mosqueda-Lewis such a great three-point shooter, and he said she has the same qualities that every great three-point shooter has. She works hard at perfecting her art. She releases the ball the same way every time, and she knows every shot is going to go in.
She expects them to go in. And Coach Auriemma talks about her amongst the best three-point shooters to play at Connecticut, including Diana Taurasi.
She's shooting 50.8% from 3. Leads the country in that category. Smith with the miss. Rebound Jefferson. UConn looks to run. So right now you look on the floor, LaChina. 1 senior, 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen. And one of those sophomores, Banks, just got called for the charge.
And Banks looks like she might have banged knees with another player. Hopefully that was it. She is in a lot of pain.
And UConn trainer Rosemary Regal will come out to take a look. Well, when you bump knees, it hurts. But hopefully it is just the pain and it will go away.
She's got knee pads on, so I'm a little concerned about that. Because that should have taken some of that pain. In terms of bumping knees, it should have been a bit of a cushion, but she was going full speed.
Banks, McDonald's All-American. 2 years ago as a high school senior, also was named Miss Georgia Basketball out of Fayette County High School in Noonan, Georgia.
Well, she's just looked very confident on the court this season. She's finding her way. She understands her role. And that's the tough thing about last year, is trying to figure things out. Well, she has put some work in, you can tell. Yeah, I don't know. It may not have been a bump knee, because if there was a knee bump, it looked like it would have been the right knee. Yeah, I'm not sure there, Bob. I'm just hoping she's okay. It's good to see her up.
Looks like they're going to take her right into the locker room. So Hartley replaces her, and here comes the full court pressure. It has really hurt St. John's in the last few minutes.
And Banks was a spark. She was a big part of that.
Smith up the side, nearly threw it over Hanford's head.
Got to get open.
Well, UConn took advantage of the sideline as an extra defender there. You never want to get trapped along the sideline.
That's the wrong place to go, because you're already blocked in, because you've got the baseline on the side of you and the sideline on the other side.
Sixth Red Storm turnover.
Doesn't give you a lot of angles.
We're past the midway point of the first half. Hartley for three. Rebound. Last touch by Farris, and it will go over to the Red Storm. St. John's got off to a slow start in non-league play. They lost 3 heartbreakers, but they got off to a 3-0 start in the conference. It's the first time they've done that in 29 years. And Farris with the blocking foul directly in front of us. That will be number 1 on her and number 4 on the team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Bob. I mean, it was a season of transition. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Deshina Stevens graduating, Eugenia McPherson out for the season. So not having her has been a tough adjustment.
And another Red Storm turnover. So Jefferson will walk it up the floor.
This is where you could use Eugenia McPherson against this pressure. A player that has been there and is very confident.
Down low Stewart, and Smith was no match from the backside. 1 on her and number 5 on St. John's.
Shanika Smith is 6'1" and long, but Brianna Stewart is 6'4" and long. She didn't have a chance, especially how deep Brianna Stewart got her underneath the basket. I'm impressed with how she's been going down low and picking her spots in the post.
Stewart knocks down the free throw. There's Eugenia McPherson, who tore an ACL in the 5th game of the season. She's out for the year. She's already decided she will come back for a 5th year next year. We understand she's well on her way to recovery. The surgery was successful, and she's working very hard on the rehab. So far, so good.
And being around this team today, you realize where they miss her. She is really an engine. She's an energy player. Big shot there by the freshman Hanford. But they miss her motor and her toughness.
Yeah, she's the glue, and she's around at all the practices. She was at shoot-around today. And they miss her not only her basketball-wise, but her leadership as Hartley hits the layup. And we mentioned that St. John's is not a good three-point shooting team. That's an understatement. Well, she is far and away their best three-point shooter.
She can stretch the floor on offense. I like the way that Dear McKinnon is passing over the Connecticut press right now.
Stewart with the rebound, and the outlet to Hartley has Mosqueda Lewis to her right. Doty back on the floor for 3. And Stewart with the rebound baseline, and then taken away from behind by Amber Thompson. McKenna to Brown.
3-on-2, great execution. When Adair McKinnon has the ball in her hands, she makes great decisions.
Down low Stewart. This is the shot over Thompson. Rebound Smith. Well, UConn getting the ball down low to Stewart at will. And the ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by St. John's.
Bria Hartley for the UConn Huskies from right down the road in North Babylon, New York, taking a nice
win number 900. She needs 3 more. 2 weeks from today will be at the Carrier Dome for Pitt and Syracuse. 3 weeks from today, well, in the middle of the winter, we're going to have to go back to Tampa and put up with the weather, LaChina, as they will take on the Syracuse Orange.
Dang it. I hope I can get there a little earlier this time, maybe actually see the sun.
A week ago today, I was sitting by the pool in Tampa. I wasn't sitting by the pool this morning at our hotel in East Elmhurst, New York.
St. John's in the zone. They will go to this defense. We've seen it already a little here early.
Jefferson knocks down the 3.
If Mariah Jefferson can knock down the 3 ball consistently, we know how quick she is off the bounce. She's going to be tough to defend.
Well, she's shooting only 19% from 3 before that one, and Brown with an answer.
If you told me coming into this game that St. John's would be 3 of 3 from long range in early minutes, I don't know if Coach Tartamella would believe you.
And Tuck banks in the three-pointer from straight ahead, and Tuck has really struggled from three-point range this year, just 26% before that one. UConn entering the game has outscored St. John's from the three-point line by 375 points. Smith leans in. One-handed rebound by Thompson.
That is where Smith is still understanding the strength at this level it takes. If she could put on some muscle, she would be a dangerous player. I think she has a chance at the next level.
Hanford with Farris's hand in her face. And the rebound came to Hartley, then she lost it. Good hustle by Tuck. Gets it to the Huskies. Farris knocked out of bounds by Smith with 21 to shoot. Smith, first team All Big East last year as a junior, and on the preseason watch list for the Naismith Award entering her senior year.
Well, she's had to do a lot this year. The departures, the injuries. She's got a young backcourt with the exception of Nadir McKinnon in terms of minutes played. She really came on strong last year. She gets the biggest defensive assignment every game, always has, but she's more of a scoring threat now at this point in her career.
Down low, Tuck wants to back her way in on Thompson. And look at all the Huskies post players. They've gone inside to Stokes, Stewart, and now Tuck on a day when Dolson's out with an upset stomach.
I love the efficiency of Tuck. She does not take a lot of moves. She doesn't require a lot of moves to score.
Hanford with a quick move to the goal. We're seeing some offense today.
She's a very special freshman. Double figures in her last three. She started for this team, starting with their Duke game in the Maggie Dixon Classic, and has just been a great addition. She's one of those surprises. They actually didn't sign her until the summer.
Tuck blocked from behind by Smith. McKenneth finds Brown for the open three. Timeout UConn. St. John's entered the day.
Body control. I mean, she's not playing against any slack defender by any means with Mariah Jefferson taking her to the hole.
Hanford out of Malcolm X Shabazz High School in Newark. In 4 years, her high school won 125 games. Hanford gets the steal and then is immediately fouled by Jefferson. 1 on her and 5 on UConn.
Malcolm X Shabazz, they kick out some stars. I mean, they have had some great players. Another that I think about in the Big East is Aisha Hemingway, who graduated or went on from Syracuse but was a star there.
And McKenneth and Thompson of St. John's are from rival University High School in Newark. Hanford with the miss, and the rebound is pulled down by Tuck, but last touch by St. John's.
St. John's had not had a Big East Freshman of the Week since Shanika Smith was named her freshman year, but Aaliyah Hanford did get the honor this season. I think she's going to be just as special.
Ncaa Lewis cut to the goal, and they found her for the pull-up. She can score in so many different ways.
You play her for the three, she'll put it on the deck.
And Hanford takes it right to the brim. 10 points already for Hanford. Hartley leads for Tuck. Jefferson, another three. Long rebound to McKenna, has Hanford ahead of everyone and hit her right on the fingertips. Neither team has demonstrated an ability to stop the other in the first 17 minutes.
Love the pace of this game. I love the scoring. What a great contest. It's packed in here. Love it.
Hartley with the miss. Last touch by UConn. On the break, you love it when it's in McKenna's hands.
She pushes it up, and the freshman Hanford.
Her teammates all have at least 100 career threes. Hartley, Doty, and Ncaa Lewis are already there.
And they're taking a lot of threes, more than we have seen in recent years. And when you have players that can shoot it that well, why not?
UConn 5th in the country in three-point makes. A foul will be called on Amber Thompson, setting the screen. That's 1 on her and 7 on St. John's. And we'll get a checking foul on Hanford on the perimeter. That will be 2 on her on 8 on the team. Brianna Banks, we saw her go out when she banged knees. She is back on the UConn bench, and we are told it is a knee sprain and she's out for the game. So UConn, I'm sure, will know much more about the extent of that injury when they get back home on campus than they do now. But we will not see her for the rest of the day. And we are told that Dolson is unavailable for the game because she's not feeling well. So UConn only has 9 available people. And one of them, Heather Buck, does not see much playing time.
Pass and cut offense here for St. John's against the UConn man-to-man.
Here's Smith, wants to go at Mosqueda Lewis. St. John's by 1 thanks to an 11-2 run. It's only the second lead change of the game. Mosqueda Lewis catch and shoot, and she'll be fouled by Smith, and that's her second.
You don't want to foul the jump shooter, and Shanika Smith should know that.
Here's Mosqueda Lewis, who came out of high school considered the #1 high school player in the country, and has certainly lived up to all of her expectations so far. There you see the most points allowed by UConn in a half this season was to Notre Dame in that loss, only loss of the year, and St. John's already sitting on 35 points. LaChina, what do you think is the biggest difference from freshman to sophomore year for this young lady, Mosqueda Lewis?
Well, I think it's her versatility. I mean, the fact that she can consistently put it on the deck. I think the fact that she can lead the team in assists, she can lead them in rebounding. We were starting to see that towards the end of her freshman year, but now she's doing it night in and night out. And she's shooting better from the three-point line.
McKennett's pass stolen by Farris, has tucked behind her, changes hands on the dribble, and the rebound is batted into the St. John's bench. Last touch by UConn.
And Kelly Farris is saying it's her fault, but that would have been quite a finish if she was able to spin that around. She had a difficult angle in transition.
So McKenneth will walk it up the floor. Joe Tardamella, a huge fan of the senior point guard. He said she enables us to play the way we want to play. She changed the way we play. We want to get out and go, and we can do it because of her.
When the ball has been in her hands against the press, things have gone well for St. John's.
Offensive board by Thompson at the 1-minute mark. Smith. A little mix-up on the signal with Thompson, and the lead pass was too far in front, and a turnover.
That was a good idea, right idea, not the best angle or execution. Thompson did not cut to the basket to receive that pass. Great screen by Kia Stokes. Shot just did not fall for Kalina Mosqueda Lewis.
Two seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so St. John's will try to run it down, so UConn has almost no time left. Shot clock at 10 for McKenneth. Smith comes off the screen for the long pull-up. Air ball. Shot clock didn't recycle. UConn with the rebound with 3. Hartley's got to let it go, and it will not fall. So we're right back where we started, dead even. UConn and St. John's tied at 35. We only had 2 lead changes. From 3-point range, the UConn bench outscored St. John's bench 16-2. Huskies outscored St. John's off turnovers 11-0. But UConn missed its last 7 shots of the first half.
They're playing without Stephanie Dolson, who is obviously a big part of what the Huskies do on the offensive end. So just a little bit different of a flow in terms of where they can go with the ball.
Brianna Brown gives to McKenniff. Once again, UConn playing without Stephanie Dolson, who has an upset stomach, has not played and will not play. Smith with the desperation three with time running off the shot clock. The putback by Wachuku, and she is fouled by Mosqueda Lewis, her second and one on the team. Let's revisit LaChina's ledger.
Well, when you look at the first half of both of these teams, Connecticut containing McKenniff, she only had 4 points, but it was her vision against the press that was great for St. John's. And bench contributions, Connecticut got a lot of them, and they got great ones in the first half of this game.
This is only the 7th free throw attempt of the year for Wachuku. And how about revisiting LaChina's ledger for Joe Tartamella's Red Storm?
Well, they really didn't get to the line, but they were able to make up for some of that offense by hitting three-point shots. And I think their post defense has been pretty good, considering the fact that Wachuku went out with 2 fouls early. That's their starting post. They don't have a lot of depth. Thompson had to play a lot of minutes, so I think that they've been doing a good job of holding up their end of the bargain so far.
And Wachuku will sit down after the free throws, replaced by Keelantra Langley. So St. John's going with another perimeter player. Mariah Jefferson starting the second half for UConn. Can't hit the runner and is called for the charge. Her second and 2 on UConn.
You have to love the way that St. John's guards hustle, their athleticism, how quickly they can make up, even in mistake situations like that where someone gets beat. Well, you got a quick wing that's going to come over and rotate and get where they need to be to help you out.
UConn overwhelmingly a man-to-man team, starting out in a 2-3 zone to start the second. I know they're showing zone and they're still playing man.
This is a very small team out on the court right now for Gino Auriemma. You know that Kelly Ferris will play the power forward, but who else can you tell me is in the post right now, Bob?
Doty blocked that shot and nearly knocked it off St. John's. 3 seconds left in the shot clock.
Essentially, really 5 guards out on the floor right now for Connecticut.
Smith off the inbound.
Her length and elevation on her shot allows her to get that off.
Only time this year that UConn trailed at the half was to Notre Dame. They trailed 38-35, and they wound up losing it 73-72. The Huskies' only loss of the season.
Again, Connecticut with a smaller lineup out on the floor right now. We will see them spread the floor. They will probably look for a lot of long shots.
Shot clock down to 2. Hartley lets it go. And she had a tough first half. 1 for 7 from the floor, 0 for 5 from three-point range.
And that wasn't an easy shot. She had to work for that. Rhea Hartley still working back into form, dealing with that nagging ankle injury pretty much all season. It has really inhibited her both mentally and physically.
Smith on the drive, pounded in the foul on Ferris.
And St. John's has decided that if you're going to go small on us, we will make you pay. Ferris, one of the best defenders in the country, and Shanika Smith able to use her size to elevate and make a shot and get the foul.
So Smith completes the three-point play, and it's St. John's by 4. Smith in double figures now for the 85th time in her career.
Kelly Ferris posting up hard on the inside.
And they're going to get Ferris for the foul. No, it's a 3-second call.
Kelly Ferris was begging for the ball. You could see Gino Auriemma saying, get the ball to her. She got the 3-second call because the play was for her. The ball was supposed to go to her early.
Here comes the double team on Smith. McKenniff for 3. Rebound in traffic, and it's last touched by Brown of St. John. So an interesting coaching decision by Gino Auriemma on a day when Dolson is unavailable because of an upset stomach. He's using 5 perimeter players to start the second half. Joe Tardamella responded with a move by taking Wachuku out and putting in a 5th perimeter player himself. Farris down low, backs her way in on Smith.
Whoa. Tough, strong, gritty move on the inside by Kelly Farris.
6 points for Farris, who's averaging 10. What an assignment for the freshman Jefferson, who's being asked to guard McKenneth, the KG senior. Hanford, wild shot, didn't even hit the rim. Shot clock didn't recycle. It's down to 7. Smith, the crossover dribble, and sets up Hanford.
Beautiful move, Bob, by Shanika Smith.
Hartley with the miss and Brown with the rebound. Doty reaches in, and we'll get a foul on Doty.
Take a look at this move in its entirety. The dribble to free yourself up, the ball fake, and then the unselfish pass. Just an all-around great move by the senior.
Smith hit the game-winning shot when St. John's ended UConn's 99-game home court winning streak last February. So far here, nearly 4 minutes into the second half, UConn with 14 fouls and St. John's with none. Finally, a post player for each team. Tuck for UConn and Thompson for St. John's on the floor.
They're going tick for tack here. You put one in, I'm putting one in.
Hanford drives, can't finish. Rebound on a hop to Doty, and she threw it away. Smith with the up and under move. Rebound Hanford.
Is she a freshman? Is she a freshman?
Well, that's what it says in her biography. Someone let her check her resume.
Not only that, but she was late getting here because she got signed in summer. So she didn't even get a lot of the time that most freshmen get to adjust.
Hartley with the tough move. Responds.
Sweet move off the glass.
The last basket by Hanford equaled her career high of 16. It's the 3rd time she's done it this year. So once again, we're seeing some good offense for both teams, and it seems like neither team can stop the other. Hanford with the miss, rebound Farris. Doty has Mosqueda Lewis right and Hartley left for 3. Long rebound to Thompson. St. John's had lost to UConn 27 straight times before finally beating the Huskies last February. UConn came back 16 days later and beat St. John's by 31 in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. Smith, deep 3, long rebound, loose on the floor, scramble, still loose, held ball, the possession arrow will give it to UConn. And we get a timeout with St. John's by 4.
The fear factor does not exist for St.
First time that Bria Hartley of UConn, who lives 25 minutes away in North Babylon, New York, is getting a chance to play in her backyard as a college player against the team who heavily recruited her.
And she said she's got a lot of friends and family in the crowd. Talked to her before the game. So this is a big one for her in terms of getting to play in front of her loved ones.
Farris with her 99th career three-pointer.
The expansion of Kelly Farris's game. And Joe Tardamella told us last year our plan was let Farris shoot it. And this year, you can't do that.
He said there isn't a single player on their team in the starting lineup that you can play off of that can't hurt you by making shots. Hartley gets the rebound and tripped up by McKenneth in the backcourt. First foul on McKenneth and the first team foul on St. John's here in the second half. Joe Tardamella was also telling us today that one of the problems is McKenneth gives away too many fouls. There was an example, but it's only her first of the game.
She's been smart about it so far. She will have to continue to be. They need her out there on the court.
Hartley on the dribble drive. Offensive rebound tuck, but Thompson took it away from her.
Thompson has gotten stronger this year. Last year, she would not have been able to battle for that board.
Averaging 6 rebounds per game. High school teammate of McKenna.
It's amazing to me that she's not averaging double figures, because she should be.
Hanford with the miss. Rebound, Mosqueda-Lewis. Farris, great pass to Hartley. That will be the second foul on McKenna.
Here come the Huskies behind the leadership of Kelly Farris and Bria Hartley. Just an outstanding pass. It takes a lot of upper body strength to put it right on the bullseye the way Kelly Farris did there.
So Hartley knocks down the first free throw. And talking to Gino Auriemma yesterday, we asked him about Hartley's ankle that she hurt in the summer. He said, I don't know if it's going to be 100% at any time this season. It is what it is. It's been frustrating for her. And I would say when you look at her numbers and you wonder why they're down, I can't see any other explanation other than the ankle.
It's been frustrating is correct. And he said before she had injured that ankle, she looked very good. He'd been obviously watching her before she left to go play on that 3-on-3 team, and she looked terrific.
Hanford with the feed to Thompson. It all started out with the pass up top from Smith. I think St. John's has a good one in his freshman Hanford, LaChina. Stewart misses the 3. Rebound McKenna. Lead pass to Smith.
I wanted to see if Breanna Stewart would challenge Shanika Smith on that run, but Smith, the senior against the freshman, gets it done.
Thompson with the foul from behind, her 2nd and 3 on St. John's this half. UConn has won 7 in a row since its only loss to Notre Dame. They started out with 12 straight wins. Off the inbound, Stewart with the easy layup. Oh, she missed it.
And
wasn't that easy, huh?
She did her work early. She used her body. Terrific positioning. Just couldn't get the finish.
Brown. Knocked loose. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Brown right into the teeth of that UConn defense. Five-point Red Storm lead. Down low, Tuck. And Farris will be called for the rebound over the back. That's 3 on her and 5 on UConn here in the second half.
We're playing against tough Connecticut defense. Sometimes the sharing of the basketball. 12 assists already. They only average 12. And knocking down the three-point shot is huge. I mean, the fact that they did that early, not only did it give them some confidence, but it also opened up the floor. Now Connecticut can't just sag off into the lane. They have to respect it, especially from Brown, because she was shooting lights out from long range.
Hanford. Two-3 UConn zone with Stewart in the middle of the back line. Shot clock down to 5. Smith for 3. Rebound Tuck.
And you're going to have to see if you can make the contested three-point shot against that zone. If not, you got to get somebody to the high post and try to work some interior passing.
Mosqueda-Lewis with a nice cut to the basket, and Stewart found her.
Very smart, sneaking in behind the defense.
Here's Smith, who missed that last 3. St. John's 4 for 4 from three-point range in the first half, 0 for 4 so far in the second half.
And they can't rely on it. It really is not their strong point, and you can hit some to get open in a game like this, but then you have to know how to go back to your bread and butter. And you see here, Connecticut is going to challenge them to see if they can hit that long ball. Shot
clock down to 5. Brown for 3. Air ball. Clock didn't recycle, and the rebound comes to UConn. Here's Hartley. Tuck down low against the much smaller McKenna, but McKenna had the quick hands. Lead pass to Brown. Rebound Mosqueda-Lewis. Hartley for 3. Long rebound winds up in the UConn bench, and it will go back to the Red Storm. Gino Auriemma told us yesterday that the loss to St. John's hurt last year, but he said it's not like we're going down there looking for payback. We're going down there, we want to play our game, and if we feel we play the way we're capable of playing, we feel the same way we always feel. If we play like we're capable of playing, we'll win. But they're playing today without one of their best players, Stephanie Dolson, who's out with an upset stomach.
Who is having a great year. I mean, she has really proven herself. She's played against all the great bigs pretty much in the country with the exception of Baylor. She's played against Hawkins of Maryland, Kayla Alexander from Syracuse.
UConn forces the turnover, and it will go back to the Huskies. There's a look at Dolson in her warm-up suit. Leads the country in field goal shooting percentage. Had a monster game the last time these two teams met in the Big East tournament. 23 points on 10 of 12 shooting.
She has also played against Elizabeth Williams and Janae Ogumake, Natalie Achanwa. She has taken on the best post in the country and really has had her way this season.
Third foul on Hanford, 4 on St. John's this half. Stewart puts it on the floor, uses the left hand. And the rebound winds up in the hands of Dolson on the bench.
She just cannot get him to fall. Brianna Stewart is doing all the work early.
You mentioned Brittany Griner and Baylor. Well, UConn has a date with the #1 ranked Bears on February 18th. That one will be at the XL Center in Hartford. Mosqueda Lewis down low. Stokes spins with the left.
She did not start the second half. They went small. But if they can get some interior scoring, I think that's what Connecticut needs to do. I think they need to attack St. John's inside game.
Well, we've seen UConn play zone the last several St. John's possessions. They're daring the Red Storm to beat them from the perimeter.
And it's smart because they haven't knocked it down consistently this season.
Langley with the miss. Farris with the rebound.
But you got to attack the seams in that zone. I mean, you can't just settle for the long shot. They've got athletes. They got to find it.
Down low, Stewart missed the layup. And the ball is last touched by UConn.
And Coach Auriemma saying, make a layup. Talking to his freshman, who is still figuring out how to be consistent in the big moments in the post.
Gino told us yesterday that it's a work in progress, the rotation off the bench. Said no one has separated herself from anyone else, so it's game by game. We try to figure out who to use to give us what we think we need most. Brown with the miss, McKenneth with the rebound.
Much better offense against the zone by St. John's. They got the ball to the high post, got it out, got an open look.
So third foul on Jefferson and the 5th on the team. 7.5 remaining. We 7.5 minutes left and they're up 1.
The fear factor is half the battle. I mean, when you can look that team, the dominance that they have had in women's basketball, the national championships, when you can look at that team and say, we have beat them, that gives you an edge coming in. I mean, look at Notre Dame. Once they did it once, you know, it took them a while to get over the hump. Once they did it once, now they are competitive. It's the mental edge.
St. John's has missed its last 7 shots from three-point range after hitting their first 4. Shot clock down to 7. Smith inside the three-point line. Tough shot.
That's cold. She wears number 35 because her favorite players are Angel McCoughtry and Kevin Durant. That looked a little KD-ish right there to me over the defense.
First St. John's points in 4.5 minutes. Red Storm by 3. Down low, Tuck spins, goes over Smith. Gino Auriemma going with Tuck and Stokes instead of Stewart. McKenneth penetrates the defense, Her pass was deflected by Stokes. Still 10 left on the shot clock. Shot clock down to 3. Smith fakes, fires. Long rebound comes to Stokes. Jefferson to Farris for 3. And for the first time in UConn history, 4 teammates have 100 or more career three-pointers, because that was number 100 for Farris. Timeout, St. John's today.
You look at those games, the opportunities you had to get a win. Louisville down there as well. We didn't see that one, but that was a very close game down the stretch where free throws made the difference. So late game execution, holding on to the lead when you have it. But right now, the Huskies are in charge.
A 9-2 UConn run has given the Huskies a 2-point lead.
And the zone has been the difference. Connecticut has gone to this zone, and it has really frozen St. John's offensively. They've had to take tough shots, and they're not hitting from long range like they were in the first half.
They've missed their last 8 threes. Brown with the shot clock at 4. Rebound tucked, deflected it to Farris. Hartley to Mosqueda-Lewis for 3. Rebound Farris. An 11-2 run. China, why has St. John's been unable to get the ball inside against this zone?
Well, that's what a zone is for. It takes away the inside, the interior of a team's offense, not only in their post play, but it just clogs it up. I mean, look, it doesn't look like there's anywhere to go in the lane on the drive.
And before Smith's shot, we're going to get a reach-in foul on Mosqueda-Lewis. That is her 3rd, and number 6 on UConn this half. St. John's led by 5 with 10:50 left, and since then it's been 11-2 UConn before that Smith basket. 17 points for the senior from Brooklyn. Pass deflected by Hanford, stolen by Smith. 2-on-1, Smith with the finish.
I am so impressed with the way that number 3 and right, Aaliyah Hanford, as a freshman, has performed in this game.
With that basket, Smith has moved into 3rd on St. John's career scoring list. Mosqueda-Lewis down low.
Knowing where to go. Mosqueda-Lewis coming up big as she has done. See, this is a very talented and deep Connecticut team. Yes, you can go a lot of places when you need scoring, but the person that has come up big most often in tight moments is Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis.
She's a great free throw shooter, 86% for the year. UConn by 3 as we approach the 4-minute mark. The Huskies have won 28 of their last 29 meetings with the Red Storm. St. John's trying to make it 2 wins out of their last 3 meetings. Shot clock down to 5. Smith for 3. They've missed 9 straight threes.
Well, you have to keep in mind the fact that Connecticut is scoring is allowing them to get back and set up that zone. It does not have the same effect, obviously. When you don't score a basket or have a dead ball situation, you can't get into your zone defense.
Mosqueda-Lewis, and that's foul number 4 on Smith.
Where you see a difference.
Indeed, because UConn, when it comes to rebounding margin, is 4th in the country. And Dolson is a big-time rebounder for the Huskies. Averaging 6 per game. St. John's is 0-5 this year in games decided by 3 or fewer points. Mosqueda-Lewis makes it a 5-point lead. This game is produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. McKenna penetrates. Can't finish. Rebound Farris.
And we have not seen that as much from Nadira McKinnon. She has been more of a facilitator for the offense than she has been looking to get to the rim herself, but she can be difficult to contain.
Mosqueda Lewis for three. Long rebound to Hanford. Goes right at Mosqueda Lewis. And Mosqueda Lewis gets the rebound. Has Hartley to her right. And now Hartley will circle the wagons.
And those are the baskets that you have to have in those opportunities if you're the Red Storm.
St. John's desperately needs a stop here. They might get it. Brown deflected the entry pass, and it's a turnover. 2:20 remaining. UConn by 5. McKenneth goes at Farris. Shots blocked. McKenneth keeps the possession alive. Smith on the drive and will draw the foul. It will be on Morgan Tuck. Number 1 on her and number 7 on UConn, and Smith will shoot a couple. Joe Tartamella in his first year as a head coach. He's only 33 years old. Took over for Kim Barnes-Arico, who went to Michigan. Smith knocks it down. LaChina, Joe told us that the path of this program changed the day that Shanika Smith first stepped onto this campus.
Well, she was a highly rated recruit coming in. I mean, you knew that she was going to be a difference maker. Number 7 overall, according to ESPN Hoop Girls. And she just has all the tools, the athleticism, the length, the quickness. You rarely see that combination in someone her size at 6'1".
21 points, 15 in the second half. She sits down. Joe Tartamella making a defensive substitution. Remember, she has 4 fouls, so Wachuku's in there guarding Stokes. Inside 2 minutes, Mosqueda Lewis on the drive. And what a job she's done getting to the line in the last couple of possessions.
Connecticut has attacked the rim. They have taken this into their own hands, not looked for the outside shot necessarily or settled for it. They're going right into the gut of St. John's defense and getting to the free throw line.
18 points, 10 rebounds for Mosqueda Lewis. Her first double-double of the year and the second of her career as Smith re-enters as St. John's is about to get the ball back. We may see Joe Tartamella do that repeatedly, taking advantage of whistles, trying to prevent Smith from getting her 5th foul. The lead is 5 with 1:55 left. UConn extends the pressure, trying to make St. John's use valuable time off the clock. Now the Huskies settle back into that 2-3 half-court zone, and Joe Tartamella is going to get a timeout with 1:42 left. LaChina, the decision to go zone by UConn has really paid dividends here in the second half.
It has. I mean, it's been to defense. Look at Kelly Ferris, one of the best defenders in the nation, and she's scoring over her. And they're looking to her leadership with the injury to Eugenia McPherson. They know that they have to have Dara McKinneth and Smith step up.
Hanford on the drive. Stokes with the block, but she'll be called for the foul. Number 1 on Stokes and number 8 on the team, so Hanford will go to the line to shoot a couple, and she has really struggled from the foul line this year. Just 48.5%.
And as a team, St. John's has left some opportunities at the free throw line late in games.
Hanford with a new career high with that free throw, her 17th point. Wachuku back, replacing Smith on defense.
And that's a difficult decision, having to take Smith out offense to defense, because she's just as good of a defender as she is scorer. Number 2 in blocks in the Big East.
Stokes guarded by Wachuku. Farris comes around the screen for 3. That was a dagger. That was a dagger.
That is why fans across the nation are wondering, why haven't we heard more about Kelly Ferris? because she makes the big plays, and it doesn't have to be scoring.
Hanford feeds Wachuku. Timeout St. John's. 55 seconds left with a 5-point UConn lead. And St. John's with only one timeout left after this in Chapel Hill between Carolina and Duke.
It's an exciting time in women's basketball as you have coaches that have laid the foundation for the game going for that so important milestone. Two of them in C. Vivian Stringer and Sylvia Hatchell.
Quick foul by Brown. Number 2 on her. Number 8 on St. John's. And now Tuck will go to the line. 61% shooter from the free throw line. Move paid off. Rebound Thompson. And they do have Smith on the floor. McKenneth penetrates. Rebound Stokes. And a quick foul.
Great defense there by Bria Hartley. She did not back down from the physical contest right there with Nadira McKenneth. She welcomed it here because McKenneth is a very strong guard. She bodies up Hartley, but she didn't back down.
Stokes 1 for 5 from the line this year. Well, whatever works, huh? Look at the look on Dolson's face.
Coach Oriema put his hands on his head, too. He's like, okay.
Those might have been the most 2 unusually successful free throw attempts I've ever seen back-to-back. A thrill a minute. The lead is 7. St. John's has to score in a hurry. They're wasting way too much time. McKenneth penetrates, leaves for Thompson. Rebound Stokes. St. John's needs to foul and does with 17 seconds left. So on a day when, and Smith just fouled out of the game with 21 points. So LaChina on a day when Stephanie Dolson could not go as she woke up not feeling well, an upset stomach. And on a day when sophomore Brianna Banks left with a sprained knee and did not return, it looks like the third-ranked Huskies are going to hang on and get win number 20. It was a gritty win.
It's something that Gino Auriemma did not have last season, did not have this much depth, did not have a lot of options to go to if Tiffany Hayes got in foul trouble or whoever got in foul trouble. But this is the joy of having a freshman class that's talented enough to play and having depth.
And the senior Farris didn't hurt at all. Brown knocks down the 3, and Joe Tardamella will use his last timeout with 9.4 seconds left, and the lead is 6. It would require a miracle for the Red Storm.
Really took her out as a factor. And you're right. I mean, these days, sometimes we are so concerned with who is scoring the most points. We forget about the things that really win games, which is rebounding, defense, second and third effort.
And forcing turnovers, which Farris does so well. Well, St. John's needs to foul here. And look, Joe Tardamella is putting up the stop sign. Don't bother. So UConn sneaks out of here with a 6-point lead over a gutty St. John's team that really gave the Huskies quite a scare. St.